Welcome! Thank you guys so much for joining us. We have some amazing creators, John McClay, Ashes to Ashes, and Flutter. And of course, Mark himself. Thank you so much, Mark, for joining us here in Horizon. I have to admit, I have been so nervous leading up to this week, and I just wanted to know if you have any public speaking tips. Like, do you ever just imagine the audience with no pants on? And I know you've been exploring Horizon yourself, so we're really curious what your favorite worlds are. Why is it Cloud Beach? And has AI Bot been working you overtime?
I don't know. I'm spending a lot of time on Horizon, so it's really exciting for me to get a chance to spend time with all of you here. You know, making sure that the creator tools work really well is I don't know, just such an important part of what we're doing. You're just getting the whole metaverse economy and the creator economy to work well here. Some new stuff that I'm excited to share today around that, but also just wanted to kind of hear about how this is all going for you and your experience with everything that you're building here. But this is an awesome world. That was quite a dramatic entrance.
Yeah, we do like to keep it very dramatic here in Horizon. It's so exciting, and we really appreciate having this space where Flutter's hosting meditations. John just had the opportunity to work with Wendy's. Ashes is doing some incredible things with the HCC community, and we just really, really appreciate having this space.
Creator monetization, I think, is it's really important because you all need to be able to support yourself and make a good living building these awesome experiences that people can have. And we're still pretty early in the journey, but I mean some of the stuff that you're all building is kind of exciting and awesome. So today there are two new things that I wanted to talk about. One is in-world purchases. So basically the ability to sell virtual items and access to things inside the worlds as just kind of a new part of the commerce equation overall. Yeah. It's part of this that we've wanted to get to for a while, but we're starting rolling this out with just a handful of creators, and then we'll see how it goes. But I imagine that over time we'll get to roll it out more and more. So that's pretty exciting. And then the other piece of this that I'm also really excited about is the creator bonus program that we're rolling out, where people who are building awesome worlds, where we're basically just setting up some funds to help just basically compensate and reward the people who are just doing awesome work here in Horizon. So I've just been really excited to see the type of stuff that people have been able to build already just in the first year or so of releasing Horizon. So it's awesome for me to just get a chance to spend some time with you all and hear your experience so far, and also just kind of get a sense of what you think that we should be building next. And if you were in my shoes, what would you prioritize that would make all of your lives easier in terms of all the creation and work that you're doing?
So I host events. I'm one of the first people to really host events in Horizon, and I host the meditation. One of the things that you gave us recently was the ability for everyone to create individual events, which is amazing. Thank you so much. The only thing that could make it better, maybe in the future, is having categories so that people can find, this is a game type meetup area, event area, and this one's more for meditation and art and museums and education and things like that. But other than that, it's just absolutely amazing for us. So thank you so much.
Oh, well, you're too nice. If you're saying that that's the only thing that we can do. I still think we're quite early in the development of this whole thing, so there's going to be a lot of stuff that we need to do. But I think that that's a really interesting idea. Making sure that there's just some sort of directory or categorization, so that way people who want to take your meditation classes can find that more easily and differentiate that from other kinds of games or social experiences. I heard that you're just increasingly moving from doing your meditation classes in the physical world to doing more and more of them in Horizon. Is that right? How's that going?
All of them are in Horizon now. Every single
one. Oh, yeah?
Wow. I'm able to stream them to the people who are at home, so they can still participate. And so they're on Facebook watching me do the live meditations. So, wow, yeah. Amazing. I hope capacity continues to grow, because I have some ideas that are just a little bit too early still for what we can do, but they're there, and I'm going to grow.
When you say capacity, what do you mean by capacity?
So if I had my dream of building a meditation world, everything would pop up as I was talking about it. So trees, flowers, birds, things like that. Right now, I'm limited on how much can come up animated. So
Got it.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely be able to add more over time, and as the headsets get better, we'll be able to do a lot more too. So yeah, no, really excited about that.
Ooh.
And I'm looking forward to buying my next headset.
I do events too, but it's more or less training. So I like go into build mode with a group of people and try to show them some of the tools and teach them how to build worlds, kind of like this one. If I had to ask for anything, I would want it to be that we could have more builders in the build instance so that we can teach more people at one time. Because a lot of time there's only a few people who like are comfortable teaching, and so it's hard to limit a class to just 3 people. And when we were able to, possibly teach to a larger audience. So that would definitely be the first thing I would ask for.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Especially for classes, it makes sense that you'd want a lot of people in the tools. But I mean, one of the things that we've just tried to do differently is the whole co-developing experience, and the fact that everything that you're building is in Horizon itself. I think that it is really just different from all the other experiences out there. So I mean, I think continuing to push on that and make it better and better and more differentiated, that's a really good push. So thank you for that.
I don't do events really, other than the occasional party on Train Destiny. And I have a long list of things that I would like to see in Horizon, but this is very early days, and I have a tendency to think if you raise the ceiling, I'm just going to fill it up and then complain when I hit it. So I think
well, that's the way it goes.
Yeah, the limitations are freeing and really spark my creativity, right? And so I've really enjoyed the challenge of Horizon in dealing with that capacity and trying to come up with new inventive ways to either circumvent it or be creative with it. That's not to say I don't have any suggestions. It's just the list is so long that I don't feel comfortable giving them to you right now. But those were definitely some great suggestions. Okay, one big one. I would really like the ability to either create my own textures, either within Horizon itself, so I can be more creative in that, or to import them. Even if I had like a little bitmap editor, and I could create my own texture maps, and they could be unique to me. Yeah.
This is something that it's got challenges like you're saying, but this is definitely something that we want to be able to support at some point.
Yeah, and I think that for me that would help me a lot, just as far as differentiating my style from others.
Yeah, makes sense. Awesome.
Well, I loved what you had to say about the collaboration. Seriously, I mean, it's the reason I am so invested in Horizon, is because once you experience co-creation, and that is so different than anything you will ever have. And recently we saw Workrooms got released, and Workrooms enabled us to be able to work on video editing projects together. And it was just the most crazy thing to be able to sit there editing, getting feedback from the team, working on thumbnails, and all of this happening simultaneously, and being able to share screens, all while working virtual. So I would love to see more of Workrooms being connected to Horizon, because one of the biggest things that we love about Horizon is being able to network and talk to people. And right now in Workrooms, it's very much close to your business that you're working with. So I can't just walk from my production company to another production company, which is what I would really love to be able to do.
No, it's great to get all your feedback on this, and I love Workrooms too. I mean, I do a lot of meetings in Workrooms. Every week I try to get people at the company to use it, in addition to meeting in person and video conferences and all that. And the whole kind of Horizon suite of products, that and venues for kind of larger things too. I'm just kind of continuing to iterate on them, and we're trying to make them better every month. Just keep on adding more features and enable creators to make the experiences better and better. And of course, to do that, the whole economy around it needs to work. So all this stuff it's just a really big focus for the company and for me personally.
So I'm kind of curious with this kind of economy system coming. I'd like to hear from Mark, you first, and then from the creators here, with the use of in-world purchasing as what does you think is going to be the breakthrough feature?
I mean, for me, a lot of it is just seeing what you all do with it. If you just sort of imagine what some future metaverse and some point down the line, clearly the ability to sell virtual goods and be able to take them with you from one world to another is going to be an important part of it. But first there need to be things that people want to buy, right? And in order to get that economy going. So and I think that the stuff that ends up working in these digital products is just end up being a little bit different from what you'd expect from the physical world. So it requires a lot of experimentation and creativity from the people who are building the worlds and building these experiences, and all kinds of different things. I mean, I think your point before about categorizing the experiences, because games will be a bit different from pure just hanging out socially to doing events and different kinds of stuff like that. So figuring out what works in each of those categories, the experimentation around that is a lot of what I'm really curious to see, kind of how that plays out over the next few months. But this will be like a really big iterative process in terms of building this. It's not like we just put something out there and we're done. We'll see what you all build, and then we'll see what resonates with the people using the worlds, and then we'll build the next round of tools based on that and keep on improving it. And so that's kind of what I'm interested in, is just how quickly can we learn and iterate on this and just keep on making this better. But over time, we want there to just be a ton of awesome worlds, and in order for that to happen, just there need to be a lot of creators who can support themselves and make this their job and make a living doing this. In order to do that, there's got to be good ways for people to make money, and that'll come from a diverse set of things, right? So some people will be selling things in worlds, some will be selling access to worlds, some will be doing sponsorships or streaming it to other places and all this stuff. So there are going to be a lot of different models, but we just want to make sure that we give you all the tool set, so that way just a very diverse set of creators can create a diverse set of worlds. And that's kind of my hope for the next year or two.
I'm really looking forward to making my butterfly wings for people. So something that they can purchase that will support meditation and they can wear, and then it will allow them to fly in the world and reduce their gravity, things like that.
I like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's kind of flutter by.
Yeah. For me, I think it might try different things, because a lot of my worlds are like stories. So maybe I'll expand on that and see what might be something people like to purchase to experience a series of stories that are related.
I like
Makes
those
sense.
ideas. I hadn't really thought too much about selling things. I've mainly just been building worlds for people who either don't have the time or the technical knowledge to do it, and that's how I've been making money in Horizon thus far, and it's worked out pretty well. I do like the idea of paying artists who've put their hard work into like a creation, and I think it raises all boats, and I really like economies that do that. Someone who's purchasing it for $1 isn't really, if they don't have the knowledge or time or ability to do it, that's a deal. Oh, $1? I'd rather spend $1 than spend 200 hours creating this. And for the person creating it, if multiple people pay for it, then it makes it worthwhile, right? People trade their skills, and people, when they receive those items, are also uplifted.
I'm really excited to see kind of some, paid experiences that we'd see in the real world start coming to Horizon. I don't think it's going to be in this first wave, but at some point I'd love to see like going to a comedy show and being able to support the, professional comedians who've been coming into Horizon, paying like an entry fee to get in. I think that's going to be really neat. For me personally, I don't really charge for anything at this point, but what I would like to see happen is right now we've got an asset bundle that we give away, and I'd love to have a way for people to donate if they can, if they have the means, and potentially put in like kind of a patron board. So right now we've got a Patreon where people can support us, but having to be able to do that in Horizon would be really nice, to be able to say, here's our top Patreons who really helped us support creating these assets for everybody.
Yeah, interesting.
A closed economy, like a closed loop economy within Horizon would be amazing, where I get money and then I'm able, like when someone has donated money to me, I've been able to hire someone to film one of the meditations for me. And, so that helps that person. And then that person uses the money to do something else within Horizon. So it ends up being a nice loop of growing our own world, a real economy. It's
Slowly
amazing.
but surely, Horizon becomes a reflection of the real world. It's incredible.
Exactly.
I'm constantly in here saying, "Oh yeah, I'll see you in the real," and then I'm like, "Wait, I mean, Horizon." It's like because I'm always in here meeting with people, and it feels so real. It's amazing.
That's the whole thing about what makes VR so magical, and I just think as we keep on improving Horizon month over month, that sense of presence is just gonna keep on improving as we, tune the avatars more and tune the worlds more, and as the headsets get stuff like, the ability to make eye contact and facial gestures, just from naturally having that. I just think that's gonna be. I think there's a really exciting roadmap here.
Yeah, I've made so many friends this past year that are real, true connections with real human beings in Horizon. Like I remember the first time I noticed it, because I was friends with you on Facebook, Lakes, and I noticed we had 100 friends in common, and I was like,
Oh
wait a
yeah.
second, wait a second, those are all Horizon friends.
Right.
Like, and usually I'm pretty good about like, I only add you on Facebook if I like know you pretty well. And so I was like, I know 100 people well enough to add them onto Facebook and it's because of this virtual like presence, right? Like, I feel like I'm standing next to you. And so there's an emotional connection there. And I think it's very human. And I think it's that by itself which will propel this, forward, is that emotional connection that people have with each other in the community.
Totally.
Totally agree.
Well,
I mean, the
before we
conversations
wrap up,
here.
anything else you want to say, Mark, or ask?
I mean, I have a lot of stuff that I'd love to get your feedback on around Horizon, but
sure.
but who do you think is doing an awesome job here, and is there anyone else who you think that we should be paying more attention to? I mean, what's in terms of like
Yes.
creativity? Are there other things that you think we should be doing to enable that more? I mean, these are just all the things that we're really focused on as we keep on iterating on this and improving it.
With HCC, there are a lot of creators who aren't able to like get their work out there. They might be someone like me who's more introverted and are not comfortable promoting their own work. And so it's hard for them to get that recognition that they deserving of because they make amazing things. One creator who I know personally is like Sammy X09. To me, like some of her work is like on par with like the beach that Lakes mentioned earlier. It's like it's amazing stuff that
Yeah.
has serious impact when people go into the world, but she might not be that well known because she's not as marketing of herself. So some type of way to help creators put themselves out there that's low effort, low lift for them so they can feel comfortable doing it would be awesome. Just like I said, the Horizon creator community has like thousands of artists that are creating
Yeah.
and just creating amazing stuff. Definitely.
Yeah, discovery is definitely a big thing that we're going to work on too.
There's some amazing people like Buffy Buffers and HDTV and the stuff that she's doing. Again, she's kind of quiet about things, and she's not seen as much. And a lot of it is women are quieter, I think, in a lot of ways about what they're doing. And it's, we see a lot of the guys like Dan Tanzer and his Amazing Worlds and stuff, but Buffy supports Dan, but Buffy's so far behind the scenes that people aren't seeing her. And there's others like Buffy, So yeah,
Yeah.
and Sammy is another one, and Phoenix, and I can name 100 women, and
Definitely.
men too, who are
Paige.
just more quiet. Homed,
Oh yes,
Oh, yeah,
definitely.
Homeland does great work, and he's in the background. Like people
He
don't
is.
realize everything that he's doing and contributing because he doesn't put his name out there, right? He's just there being
No.
helpful. If you need
Yep.
scripting work done, he is so happy to help. And John Burns is another person like that, who is just so generous of his heart. If someone needs something, he's there to help them and give of himself. Trying to make a living doing this. This is his
I
dream.
think it's the
It's a lot of our
collaboration,
dreams.
right?
Yeah.
There's so
Yeah,
many collaborators
definitely.
on builds that maybe even get the recognition, but the collaborators themselves, it's not like movie credits where you see this is who worked on this, or they get credited in multiple
Right.
spots. I think something like that would be really nice to have on world pages, because these are being created by teams of people, in some cases by 10 or more. It'd be great to be able to say, yeah, these are the voice actors who came in. These are the people who worked on scripting, and to show some recognition in
Yeah.
that way for some,
Oh,
like
that would be
Homed
nice.
specifically is a
Yeah.
great example.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting idea. Interesting. Awesome. Well, this is great. You gave me a lot to think
Yeah.
about. So and I appreciate getting the chance to meet all of you.
And thanks
Oh,
you
thank
so
you.
much,
You're
Mark.
doing
We
awesome
really
work.
appreciate you coming here and talking with us and coming into Horizon. We really, really appreciate it. And I just want to also thank Flutter, Ashes, and John McClay. You guys are so fabulous, and we really appreciate taking the time to have this discussion. Monetizations in Horizon. This is exciting times. Thank you so
Yep,
much,
we're
Mark.
getting started.
And
Awesome.
we'll see you in Horizon.
All right.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.